And we're hopping into configuring system and data recovery. First two VMs that we need up and running are going to be lon.dc1 and lon-cl1, which I already have up and running. And I have to log in to CL1 as a datum administrator. First thing I have to do here is click on the start button and type in Windows Defender. And of course it says this app can't open. Windows Defender Security Center can't be opened using the built-in administrator account. Sign in with a different account and try again. So that's what it's telling you. You're not allowed to change any of the settings as administrator because the administrator account has full access to everything. And by mucking around with it, you could open up potential security holes. So we're going to log in with a different account. So I'm logging out, and I'm going to log in as Jim Austin, which is the other account that we already have. And see if that changes anything. And here we are into the Windows Defender Security Center. Now, one thing you should notice right off the bat is this looks absolutely nothing like the screen caps in the book. That's because this is a different version of Windows Defender. It's the newer, later one. Now here it's telling me my device is being protected. Last threat scan was September 20th, 2017. And the last threat definition update was on the 22nd of February 2017. Now, the reason that my device is probably not very well protected right now is the updates are woefully out of date. Okay, so let's try what's next here. We can't do the update because we're not connected to the internet. We can do a quick scan, but that's really not going to do much. Okay, so the next thing it's asking us is to play around with exclusions. So we'll go into the virus and threat settings, add or remove an exclusion, we'll add an exclusion. Alright, so the file is actually sitting in C Windows Boot PCAT. And we'll use our administrator credentials here. Third time's a charm. And we've excluded that file or folder. And next step, we're going to type in task scheduler. here, Microsoft Windows. And hop down to Windows Defender. And what's our scheduled scan here? And go to triggers, new. So we're going to start off on a schedule. We're going to do this one time. It's enabled. And we're going to go OK. Now you note that the user account does not have permission to modify this task. So we're going to have to try this again. Hold down Shift, right click, and we'll go run as administrator. Back to triggers, new, on schedule, one time, enabled. Okay. And there we go. By logging in as an administrator, we've now created a task. Next one, let's configure a restore point. That wants us to go to control panel. And it's asking us to do a search for create a restore point. And here's create a restore point. Once again, we have to give our proper credentials. Okay. Now it's asking us to configure this and turn on system protection. Next step, it's asking us to create. And we're creating a restore point. And we've successfully created a restore point. Now that that's out of the way, let's do a backup. Now the first thing that we're going to have to do here, we have to have a backup location to go to. We can't use the local system for a backup, so we're going to have to go to the network. Alright, so I can connect to the domain controller. We know we got the networking right. Now we have to go on to the domain controller. And we're going to have to create a new share called back. We're going to create a folder. Right click. Go to properties. Sharing, advanced sharing. We're going to share this folder, back, permissions. And we're going to give everybody permission. Okay, so we now have our share to go to. We'll validate that we can get to it. And here's our back folder. And let's check to make sure that we have full read write and delete. And we do. With that, we'll continue. So back to control panel. And what's it asking us for here? File recovery. That takes us to backup and restore. And set up backup. Now we have to save onto a network drive. So this is the share we just created. And we're going to need a username and password. Now let's be more specific. So we just added an a datum. And there we go, we're connected. Alright, so one thing that we can't do is we can't back up the entire system, so we're just going to back up some files. So let me choose. And we have to deselect this. All users. And we go save settings and change schedule. All right. Change time to 8 p.m. Click OK. And we'll save settings and do a backup. And now it's doing a backup. Okay, so the next thing it wants us to do is restore a file. And users, Jim Austin, desktop. We'll put it in the original location. We'll go restore. Alright, so we have the option to copy and replace. Don't copy, copy, but keep both files. And we'll do that. And we recovered this file. just close that. We'll close that. Next thing we have to do is we have to go into disk management. Oh, I don't have the rights. Well, let's fix that. Okay, so we're going to log out. Yeah, I even remembered the right password. Alright, so I'll go back to disk management. Now I have permission. Okay, so the next thing it's asked me to do is to initialize these 4 disks. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And we got to select one disk. I believe it's 10 gigs. So let's see which drive that is. 555. 5. Oh, well, we don't have a 10 gig here, so we'll just create it here. Go new simple volume. Give it 5 gigs. And it's going to wind up assigning the drive letter E. It's asking for a volume name. No. So it is now volume E. We've already formatted the disk, so just cancel this. And now we go into Windows Explorer. And here's a new volume E. New text document. We'll call it test. And we're going to go into the control panel again and go file history. Turn on. We'll run now. It's going to ask us to restore personal files. We'll click desktop. Oh, that's a silly thing for it to do. Okay, my bad. So I'm supposed to create this on the desktop. Text document, we'll go test. And we'll run that now. Alright, so restore personal files. Go to desktop. And here's our test document. And we can replace the file in the destination. And there we go. It is back. A little silly, so let's delete it. and see if we can recover it. And there we go. It is back again. Now it's asking us where it's saving it. And file history is on, copy files from here, copy files to drive E. So that's the drive that we just initiated. Okay, so we're not going to be doing OneDrive, and that concludes this lab.